Hello everyone, Von Red One here. Happy New Year to everyone. I said that in the last video, but now it's officially 2017, so it's all good. And the point of this video I'm making is we're gonna talk about remasters, a sensitive subject because I don't know, some people hate them for no reason. They see them as a quick cash grab. When yeah, they are. It only takes like half a team, like 5 months. But people think that ends up causing games to not come out on time, that we end up getting more remasters than actual new games because they focus on remasters. It's not the case, people. It takes like half a team. It takes them like 5 months. Like, for example, The Last of Us Remastered, which was a high quality remaster, ended up taking about, I think it said 8 months for Naughty Dog to make. And there was like a half a team or something because they were still working on Uncharted 4. So, yeah, this video is just going to be talking about what I want to see from remasters, or excuse me, what remasters I would like to see from the PS3 and the PS Vita, because the Vita is dead, so you might as well save those games by porting them to PS4. And the PS3 has already had a lot of remasters, but there's some that are missing that deserve to be remastered in 1080p 60. So without further ado, let's go over some of them. The first Infamous should have already been remastered by now, let's be honest, along with Infamous 2. I still cannot believe they have not remastered these games. There was that rumor earlier last year about an Infamous Lightning Edition, but we could all tell that was fake because it said it would come with a demo for a Spider-Man Homecoming game. Now, while a Spider-Man game has been announced, it is not based off Homecoming and it's not related to it in any way, so that was definitely a fake. Insomniac is making the Spider-Man game, so Sucker Punch will have no reason to get their game for a demo. So basically, what we have to have now is Sucker Punch or some other team, maybe Blue Point Games, have them make the Infamous remaster, along with its sequel, Infamous 2. The Infamous games are probably some of my favorite games of last gen. I didn't like the second one that much because the first one, in my opinion, was so perfect that they really didn't need to change anything, so it ended up being more of an unnecessary sequel, even though it was necessary for the story to take place, which is kind of a weird way to describe the game, but I don't know. If you like a game so much you don't like its sequel, picture it like that, even though the sequel was necessary. Like how a lot of people feel right now about Last of Us getting a part 2. That's how I was with Infamous 2 after I played it. Before then I was hyped, but after, man. But still, I would like to see both of these games and the DLC expansion on Festival of Blood remastered for PS4 in 1080p 60 frames per second. Because not only is the first Infamous my favorite game, I also want to play it again, but it has not aged well. On PS3, the first game has not aged well at all. The second one still kind of holds up for that generation. The first one, it's not aged well at all. Like, even going back to Second Son on PS4, if you look now, you can already see it's kind of aged a little bit in some areas. Infamous on the original, oh man, that one's aged very bad. Like it's bad. So use the power of the PS4, remaster those games. I'd buy it day one, unbox it. I'd buy a collector's edition if they were to do one, because I was gonna buy the one for Infamous 2, but I was broke at the time, and that was just way too much money. But yeah, Infamous and Infamous 2 and Festival of Blood deserve to be remastered. I don't know why it hasn't been done already. They put out that collection on PS3 form. You should do that on PS4 with improved visuals and graphics. And a way better frame rate, because they ran at 30. The first game would jump sometimes to the high frame rates, looking in the sky and stuff like that. So yeah, Sony, get on that Infamous remaster collection, please. And thank you. The Ratchet and Clank Future series was an amazing game series on PS3. I remember that was the first game I sunk hours into, as in I would sit there in front of the TV and stare at it all day playing Ratchet and Clank Future Tools of Destruction. I had played Ratchet and Clank before, but this was my first time playing a console game. For example, I played the PSP games first, then went to this. I then went back to PS2 and found out how good those were, but the Future series was still an amazing game series nonetheless. The graphics were amazing, they ran at 60 frames, and the story was really top notch, and so were the characters, the animations, and the guns. It was all around a good game, and a lot of people even back then said it was coming close to playing a Pixar game. Now, of course, with a new game this year, or excuse me, last year, that people claim that goal was met, but still, for 2007, that came really close. Then we had Ratchet and Clank Future Tools of Then we had Ratchet and Clank Future Quest for Booty, a downloadable title that was meant to fill the story in between Tools of Destruction and A Crack in Time. It was around a 5 hour type game, a small download, and it was a fun game while short, but deserves to be remastered nonetheless, along with future tools of destruction. Then we had the final chapter in the future series, A Crack in Time. This was, in my opinion, probably the better game, even though I still like Tools of Destruction more. This game had, or excuse me, Tools is the better game, but I like Crack in Time more because it had way more variety in everything you did. Normally those loading screens you see while flying in space are just that, loading screens. Here, you're actually flying the ship through space and having combat. Kind of like going commando, but not bad. And then you had hoverboards, or excuse me, hover boots, which added a whole new kind of fun element to the game. You could race, go faster, pull off parkour stunts. It was awesome. Your wrench had a tether that could be used to pull objects towards you. They had time travel elements that fit the game. It was overall just the pinnacle of what they had done with the franchise, and it was a damn good game. So it definitely deserves to be remastered on the PS4. All of these deserve to be remastered in 1080p, 60 frames per second. People may be lost in the story, but that didn't stop them from remastering God of War 3, so I don't see an excuse not to do this one. So, yeah, the future series needs to be remastered. Maybe just do a whole anthology collection with all the Ratchet & Clank games that were on PS2, PSP, and PS3. But if you have to pick any of those, for sure, get the future series because it deserves it the most. Another franchise that deserves to be remastered is the Killzone franchise. While it's had its ups and downs across its whole existence, Killzone 2 was a masterpiece and one of the best shooters ever made. Facts. The campaign was glorious in both its gameplay, visuals, and it even had a decent story. Killzone 3, on the other hand, was okay, not a bad game, but definitely a disappointment compared to how great Killzone 2 was. All it really did better was the graphics. It did nothing else better. The multiplayer, people love better, but even then, I tend to favor 2 because it was more skillful. 3, they added all these bots and stuff that kind of took away all the skill and the uniqueness of the multiplayer. So, overall, Killzone 2 is the one I'd say deserves to get remastered more so. But Killzone 3 does too, and the first Killzone, which released on PS2, also is kind of infamous for not being that good. But that's because the game is literally touted as the Halo killer. Sony made that game just to compete with Halo. When you make games like that, they're never good. So, what the first Killzone needs to be included in this remaster collection is to be remade using either the Killzone Shadowfall engine, or maybe just take the assets from Killzone 3 Remastered and make the first game with those. Either way, the first game should be remade if they want to include it. I don't think they should even bother, but to those that want to know the full story of Killzone, it would be nice to have the first game remade. So yeah, remake it using a new engine or new graphics, something like that. And yeah, have the multiplayer up and running because Killzone 2's is great. Killzone 3's is good too, I liked it, but Killzone 2's was way better. Killzone 3 just had too many bots and too many like broken things, like you just spawn with the shotgun. And that was just, oh man. So yeah, go ahead and remaster Killzone 2. Also 3, maybe remake 1, put that in with the collection. But yeah, Killzone 2 deserves it. Killzone 2 was, I'm standing by this statement, one of the best shooters ever made. I'm standing by that statement. Killzone 2 was that good. And to continue on Killzone, let's go over to the Vita section because that was pretty much the last PS3 only game that I want to talk about. So Vita-wise, Killzone Mercenary also should be remastered because not only was that a good game, I liked it more than Killzone Shadowfall. Yeah, I really did. Killzone Shadowfall was that disappointing to me. But yeah, Killzone Mercenary was more or less just a side story, kind of a smaller scale because of the Vita. You play as a mercenary who's just doing his job. You could call in certain things. It was based on the Killzone engine used on Killzone 3, so the visuals were there. Of course, they were scaled down for the handheld, but still, the game looked beautiful. It didn't run that well. That's why it needs remastered, because it would drop. That frame rate would drop a lot. The Vita was pushed to its limits with that game, and you can tell. So that deserves to get remastered. The multiplayer is weird, doesn't really work correctly, but the campaign was good enough that I'd say it warrants a remaster. Maybe throw it in with the Killzone collection, or sell it separate for a discounted price, kind of like what they did with Gravity Rush Remastered. another game that deserves a remaster is, of course, Uncharted Golden Abyss. While a lot of people either didn't play it or played it and forgot about it, I enjoyed the game. I enjoyed this game more than Uncharted 3. I've said that before, I'll say it again. Uncharted 3 was terrible, this was a better game, and not all should be ashamed of themselves. So please remaster this game so I can say that there were 3 good Uncharted games before Uncharted 4. And I can play them on console. I feel like Uncharted Golden Abyss should have been the Nathan Drake collection, but at the same time, that was for Naughty Dog's games only. They made that kind of subtly clear. So remaster this one separate. Maybe have it as like a DLC for the Nathan Drake collection, in terms of you can just pay for the money and it goes to the menu of that game or something like that. But yeah, they definitely should remaster this game. A lot of people should experience it. It feels like Uncharted 1 and 2, which is more than I can say about Uncharted 3. So yeah, please remaster this game so I can play a good Uncharted game again. Another game I want to see remastered from the Vita is Freedom Wars, because this was actually a really good game, but I was never able to finish it because I don't know. I kind of just outgrew the Vita. Like, I love the handheld, it's great. It's got the power, it's got the look, it's got good games, but it doesn't have enough. Like, compared to the PSP, it's just a disappointment in terms of the games on it. And just, I think I've outgrown handhelds to, like, I don't even play games on my phone anymore. So, like, I was trying to play the game and enjoy it, but I just couldn't. It's weird. It's like a weird thing to say, but like I just couldn't enjoy the game that well. So I don't know. Maybe what I need to do is play it again, or what I would love to do, and I would play the game and finish it if this were the case. Have them put it on PS4, 1080p 60, do like they did with Gravity Rush Remastered. I would love this game because the game was fun. I'm outgrowing handhelds. The controls are just too small for me. The screen's not good enough. It's 540p, which technically counts as HD, but I call bullshit on that. So yeah, I don't know. I need to have it on console, play with a DualShock 4. Then I could enjoy the game way more than I was actually enjoying it on the Vita. That's the case with all these Vita games now. So yeah, just please remaster that one along with the other ones, which I'll discuss later on. And another game with the same problem as Freedom Wars for me is Soul Sacrifice Delta, a game that was actually kind of fun. I didn't get that far into it though, so I don't know what the peak of it is when it comes to fun. But I do want to play the game, but handheld, can't do it. I just can't do it anymore. These handhelds are just, it's officially over in my opinion. Like I wouldn't, if someone were to make another PlayStation handheld, I wouldn't buy it because I can't do it, and I can't play these games anymore because it's on a handheld. And the Vita is great. There are still some games on the Vita I can play. One of them is actually the last game on this list. But yeah, I just can't do it. So please remaster it, 1080p 60. That's how they stay on this one because pretty much that's how I was only able to play like probably 4 levels, put it down, never had a desire to go back to it. Not because of the game, because of the platform it's on. Which, that sounds bad, but like literally, if you were playing a game on low at 30 frames on PC, you know what I mean. That's how it felt playing it on Vita. It's like, I know this can be better somewhere else. Which, like, the same can be said for all console games, but at least with exclusives, they push it further where it's like, this could be better, but I don't care. It's still a high quality experience. I don't get that with the Vita, so I can't do it. So yeah, please remaster this 1080p 60 so I can enjoy it properly. And to finish off this list, I have to say there are a lot more that probably deserve it too, but I'm just going off stuff that I want to see remastered primarily. To finish it off, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. This game was a Super Smash Bros. Ripoff in every way possible except for how you KO people. So, I want to see it remastered though because the game was still fun. I mean, it ripped off Smash Bros. And I mean, Smash Bros. Is a really fun game, so like if you're going to rip something off, at least rip something off good, and it was fun. So I mean, yeah, I want to see it remastered, and this is one of those games that I can play on the Vita still because it runs at a solid 60 on Vita. The game is simple enough to where it actually feels good on the Vita. The controls are responsive enough. I actually prefer the Vita version of this game over the PS3 version, so I never even really touched that one anymore. So yeah, I would love to have this game get remastered to 1080p 60. It's already running at 60, so just up the resolution, maybe up the character models, and hey, make a second game. And if you're gonna rip off Smash Bros, just rip it off all the way. Take out this special only the way to kill someone BS. Just give us an actual Smash Bros ripoff with PlayStation characters. So, yeah, that concludes my list of games I want to see remastered. The games taking priority on this list are Killzone 2, Infamous, Golden Abyss, and those might be the main three I take priority, as these are the ones I want to get remastered more than anything else. But all these games I wish would get remastered. Hopefully Sony does remaster some. There were some I was going to mention, of course, but they already got the basic stuff. Like, for example, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, that's been remastered. I would add two. Add two onto this list because that one, in my opinion, was better. That's the best Marvel vs. Capcom game. So yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 gets an honorable mention. Uncharted Trilogy was going to be brought up, but they did that already. Last of Us, they did that already. Wipeout was going to come up, but they've announced the collection for that, for both 2048 on Vita and for HD on PS3. So we're getting that this year, I think. And then Gravity Rush, they already did that. So, yeah. Keep it up, Sony. Remaster more games. Ignore the haters that don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Keep putting out the games that we want, remasters included. And let me know what you would like to see remastered down below. I already know I'll probably get a Red Dead Redemption comment. But yeah, on that note, I'm out. Happy New Year again. Peace out.